Housing bubble in Florida is popped. Hey, it's Crazy Horse. We're back in Orlando, Kissimmee area. After 3 years in Thailand, we said we were going to come back in 2026 and buy another Airbnb house here. The house prices have dropped $100,000, $200,000, even more in some cases. This is prime Airbnb house rental area. This whole area of Kissimmee is all house rentals. Reunion's one of the best. We sold our house in this neighborhood in 2022 at the top of the market, got a ton of money for it. And now we've seen the same houses being available for $150,000 cheaper. So in just 3 years, the 3.5 years, the prices have dropped big time. So, and they're still dropping. I mean, we're watching every week, 20,000 cut, 50,000 cut off the price of houses. And all these houses are empty. There's not a lot of Airbnb traffic. There's just too many houses built around here. And so I'm going to ride around the neighborhood and show you some of the houses that are available. And you'll see most of the houses are empty. These are all Airbnb properties. There's some long-term residents in here, but I would say 50% of the houses are empty. See, most of the houses are empty. These are all Airbnb properties, and there's just too much competition. Everybody went in for, post-COVID, 21, 22, 23, let's go buy an investment house in Kissimmee and rent it out on Airbnb and get rich. And now there's tens of thousands of houses available. Hyatt, Sheraton, Hilton, they've all added tons of properties in the area. So they've got all these resort properties that they built, and they're putting kitchens in the room, so they're competing for the Airbnb money. And the people that own these houses, they might get one weekend a month, and so their mortgages that they got at 7.5%, 7% in 2022, 2023, they're paying $5,000-$6,000 a month for these houses, and if they're lucky, they're renting them out for $150-$200 a night, 5 nights. They're making less than $1,000 a month on average, with about a $5,500 or $6,000 cost every month. So all these people are losing $5,000, $4,000 a month on their investment properties, and they're not living here; they live somewhere else. So we're thinking twice about even buying an Airbnb property again. I think the market is so saturated here; it's a dead business. Unless you've got some kind of massive 8 or 9, 10 bedroom house with a massive pool and a big game room and everything. And I think those houses, those go for $1 million to $1.5 million. And you're paying out $7,000 a month in HOA and maintenance and utilities and your mortgage and insurance, property taxes. Even they take away the property tax in Florida, you're still paying $6,000, $7,000 a month. You can charge $300 a night for a property on Airbnb if it's really big and really has all the amenities. You get 10 nights a month, that's $3,000. It's half your cost. So you're eating half that cost every month. So I can't even see how to make money here doing Airbnb. So, but anyway, I'll ride around the golf cart and show you the houses. So this is the house we sold. April 2022, almost for double what we paid for it in 2021. Only had the house for about a year, but the prices were going crazy. Everybody's buying into this neighborhood to do Airbnb, and the COVID bubble was on its way up, got to about the top. We sold the house, made a couple $100,000, over $200,000 profit, well over. And now these houses, they gave up on doing Airbnb. This guy's got a long-term renter in there, paying him about $4,000 a month. And he got his mortgage in 2022, middle of 2022, probably close to 7%. So his HOA is about $650, and it's a house back there. His HOA is about $650. His mortgage payment has to be close to $5,000 plus property tax, insurance. So he's got a renter in there, long-term renter. He gave up on Airbnb. He's got a a year lease in there for about $4,000 a month. So he's losing $1,500, $2,000 a month. And that's kind of the success story in this neighborhood. The ones that are still doing Airbnb are empty at least 3 weeks of the month. So they're paying out $5,000-$6,000 a month, and they're making $1,000 to $2,000. So they're eating, I mean, average case, they're eating $4,000 a month. They're losing $4,000 a month on their investment. So I know a lot of these people bought these houses as tax write-off. They've got a W-2 9-to-5 job, they're employees, so they're losing half their paycheck to taxes. So they figure, if I lose money on a house, I've got a mortgage payment, I can write that off, get some of my taxes back. But you're writing a check for $4,000 a month to keep this house, and you're not even covering your expenses, let alone having any positive cash flow or making any money on it. If you're going to hold it for the value of it, the price of it to go back up, you're talking 5 to 10 years for that to happen. 5 to 10 years of you paying $4,000 a month to keep this house. And with inflation going up to 10% this month, you're not going to make any money. Yeah, the house price will go up in the next 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, who knows. But you won't make any money because inflation's going up at 10%. It's going to be more. The dollar is being printed, it's being devalued. Your house may go up in value, or it may not. It may take a long time, it might take 10 years. After 2008, it took another 8 years for the house values to go back up to where they were. So it's just a losing proposition. So we're actually just canceling our plan completely to buy another Airbnb house near Walt Disney World. There's too many houses, too many people trying to get the renters in here. The hotels have built tens of thousands of rooms with kitchenettes. So the demand for Airbnb has just gone down. The prices are high. The cleaning fees are high. The maintenance companies take 15-20% now. So your chances of making any money on an Airbnb investment in this area are zero. Absolutely none. You will just lose money. Here's another house that's for sale over here. They bought this house for $550 in 2019, I think. Then they listed it for $750, and it's been for sale for 3 years. This one right here. This is identical to the house we're renting right now. So this is a 5-bedroom, 5-bath. Pool house, just like we're renting, just like we sold, and they've got it listed for $650, which is $100,000 less than we sold our house for, identical house, and it's been on Zillow for 3 years. So they keep dropping the price. It was $750. I think it was even as high as $825 at one point. They were really thinking they were going to cash out. So then they dropped it to $750, $700, $688, $689, whatever, down to $649 now. Still empty, vacant. So somebody's had this house for 5 or 6 years, paying $5,000-$6,000 a month for it. Well, if they got it in 2019, they probably got a 3% mortgage. So maybe they're only paying $4,500 a month, including HOA and everything else. But that's $4,500 a month down the drain. They're not making a penny on it. And the value of it is just where it was when they bought it. So they could probably sell that house tomorrow if they drop the price to $550, what they bought it for in 2019. So we're basically back to 2019 prices in Florida. So this one's identical to the house we're renting right now. And the guy who is renting to us, he bought that house in 2023. He's got a 7.25% mortgage, and he bought the land and he built the house. So he said he's got $950 into the house. And I told him, identical house right here, possibly a better location because our road is kind of busy. This one's quieter. $650, they can't sell it. And he's got $950 into his house. So he's out $300K in 3 years. $100,000 a year lost. And so he's actually going into pre-foreclosure. He's doing a short sale. He offered me to buy it with no money down and just take over his mortgage. And, you know, frankly, I don't want it. He owes $631,000 to the bank. And that means I'd be paying $5,500 a month plus HOA for a house I can't rent out. Maybe I can put a $4,000 a month long-term renter in there. But on Airbnb, I'd be bringing in $2,000-3,000 a month on a good month. You know, during Christmas, during spring break, maybe I'd make a little bit more. Maybe I'd make $3,000 or $4,000, but I'm paying out $5,500-6,000 a month. So even with no money down, taking over his existing mortgage on a sub 2 deal makes no sense. I can't do it. I'm just going to be writing a check to the bank every month, and that's not the investment I want to make. So what I am doing now, instead of doing Airbnb, I started up my Turo car rental business again, which I was doing here 3 years ago. And I've got a Dodge Challenger Hellcat and a Dodge Charger RT. And those cars together are bringing in about $325 a day, and they're rented every single weekend for 3 or 4 days, like a long weekend. SRT Hellcat. It's got the big engine, supercharger, 707 horsepower. It's rare that it's parked here. It just came back today and it's going out again 2 days from now. That car is rented out 20 to 25 days of every month, usually about 25. And I'm making $220 a night for it, or a day. And, you know, so this one car is bringing me $5,000 revenue, and I got a small payment I got to make on it. You know, we were renting our house out for like $175 on a, you know, Christmas. It was $200 a night. This car rents out for $200 a night, and this car cost me like $45,000 or $42,000. It didn't cost $800,000 or $900,000 like some of these houses that are renting out for $200 a night and can't get renters and are vacant. I mean, I'll drive by, I'll show you on the street over here, almost every house is vacant, completely empty. And it's like that every week. We walk our kid around here every night, and there's no people. The houses are empty. These are Airbnbs with no renters. And I can just imagine there's gonna be a lot of foreclosures, a lot of short sales coming up. I've already seen 3 in this neighborhood in the last couple of weeks, including the house we're renting, so we may have to move. But there's no buyers. So I think we're probably okay for now. So I've got these 2 cars bringing in about $325 a day, rented, you know, together 20 something days a month. You know, $6,000-7,000 a month revenue, costing me about $1,000 a month. You're not going to do that with an Airbnb. Right now, these guys are all losing money. Every one of these houses is going to go up for sale. Or they're going to just sit on it for 5 or 10 years and hope the values go back to where they were in 2022. I don't see it. It could be 10 or 15 years. I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, there's just too much competition. I could drive over, you know, 3 miles from here to Champions Gate and show you 20,000 houses. They're all identical. Built for Airbnb, and it's a ghost town. You drive around and there's no cars, there's no people, just 20,000 empty houses. That's 20,000 families that made an investment into Airbnb that are now losing $4,000 or $5,000 a month. So that's unsustainable. All those houses are going to go short sale. It's crazy because they're all underwater, especially if they bought in 22 or 23 and they got a 7% mortgage, 7.25. They're paying a fortune, and they paid top price for those houses. Like when we sold our house, that house, if it sold today, would be, you know, almost $200,000 cheaper than the guy that bought it from me paid for it. So, you know, I feel bad for him. He's got a 7.25% mortgage, paid $750 for the house. If he wanted to sell it quickly, he'd have to list it for $600 and probably settle for $550. So he'd be out $200,000. The guy we're renting from, like I told you, he's out $300,000 in 3 years. He can't make the payments for 5 years, waiting for the price to come back up so he could sell it and pay off the bank. He owes the bank more than he could sell the house for right now. So he's gone to the bank, offered to do a short sale deal, see if they'll take a hit and let him out of the mortgage, let him sell it, which is a hit to his credit rating and all that. But it's probably the smart thing to do. Instead of losing several $1,000s a month, eating away at his savings, after a year, he's not going to have any savings. So do a deal with the bank, sell the house cheap, $550 probably. The money you've lost in the last 3 years is gone. It's gone. Just let it go and start over. I mean, that's what I told him. And his realtor said, yeah, list the house at $689 and we'll try to sell it. But then I sent him the comps in the neighborhood, identical house, listed for $649, $659, I don't remember, and been on the market for 3 years, can't sell it. So I said, you're not going to sell it for $40,000 more than they've been trying to sell it for 3 years. So drop your price to $600 and you may be selling for $550, $575, something like that. It's just the reality, and it's going to be hitting all these houses. All these people are going to have to make that same decision. And it's a beautiful neighborhood. I mean, it's a beautiful country club and 3 golf courses and 11 pools, and we love it here. It's a great place to live. But it's expensive. I mean, I wouldn't want to buy a house in here now. I mean, what we paid for our house is 2019 prices. We're not quite there yet. We still got to drop some more, and maybe by beginning of 2027, those prices will be back. And I guess we could buy a house in here. It's still expensive because we got to pay $650 for the HOA, and then if you want to be in the golf membership, that's another $75,000 or $10,000 you got to lay out. So it's tough. I mean, a friend of mine who's walking his dog over here, he's renting a house across the street from us. His owner's in the same boat as my owner, where they're talking about doing a short sale. So this whole neighborhood's going to be in pre-foreclosure soon. And this is the nicest neighborhood you can live in within 20 minutes of Disney World. There's none nicer. The nicest you can rent out that has Airbnb is legal here. So I think it's over. I think Airbnb is over. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I guess if you have $1 million house with a game room and theme rooms that you bought in 2019 with 3% mortgage, you can still afford to live here and rent your house out 10 or 15 days of the month and get $250 a night. You're still losing money, but I guess you can keep your house. I don't know. I don't know what I would do if that was me. I'm glad I sold my house in 2022 and made a huge profit. That money's invested. My investments aren't doing great. Bitcoin's not doing great. I've made some profit. I took some profits out of Bitcoin before it crashed, but now where am I going to put my money? I have no idea. Oil futures. So that's where we're at right now. These 2 houses are empty. These 3 houses are empty. Got a couple cars here, probably somebody staying here. And then you got 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row empty. And trust me, we walk here every day and every evening, and we know these houses are empty. They're empty every day. This one's got absolutely nothing. No pool furniture. There's no signs of life on this house. It's completely empty. This house on the corner here, that's for sale. They keep dropping the price. I don't remember what it is. So here's the house we're renting, and it's 5-bedroom, 5-bath with a pool. And like I said, this guy's doing a short sale. About to lose $300,000 on his house, and I don't want to buy it at any price.
Golf cart adventure.
Golf cart adventure. There's mommy.
Mommy. Oh, need to see Pop. Are you guys okay?
Yes.
Look at the TV. TV and Tia likes to be busy.
Whoa! There's a car behind us.